Hello and welcome back to StarCraft, and today we'll be jumping on to the Tychus commander. Now Tychus is a interesting individual and certainly a different kind of play style here in Desert Strike, or Direct Strike, different game. And basically the way Tychus works is we get access to these 9 units. Each one of them is super powerful and super expensive, each one costing 650 minerals, and then each one can again be upgraded with unique gear, as it is called. Now each gear is some either passive ability or some active ability to be unlocked, and each of these different units or outlaws as they're called, is specialized in some manner, such as Crooked Sam here is adept at dealing heavy damage against individual targets. Now one thing that is interesting about the Tychus commander is that a lot of their outlaws abilities and specialties are dedicated to their abilities, or their active abilities. So for example, Crooked Sam, who I'm going to get because we're up against an Alarak that's an Alarak that is going to be putting a lot of his goods into a single target. Well, he's actually not very good at all against single targets. He has less effective health than an Immortal, and he actually does have a little bit more single target damage than an Immortal, so he's not bad. But what really makes him good against single targets is that his demolition charge just straight up deals 500 damage when thrown out, which is kind of a lot of damage. And when we get this gear upgrade, this one here, it increases its damage by 100%. And I'm actually going to go into the ability control and disable the auto cast, otherwise it will just, every time it casts it on like a Baneling or something, I don't want to deal with that. Now because Alarak only has 400 HP, never gets more than that, I'm not going to need to give it the upgrade to deal plus that much more damage, so we'll just kind of one-shot Alarak. So anytime he does any of this nonsense of absorbing his units to get back his health, it just doesn't matter. He's getting demolition charge to flat 500 true damage, spell cast, and he's gone. Just end that real quick. And I'm going to go pretty heavily into gas, because all of my units are super expensive, and it's not fun to deal with units that are super expensive, but at least they're kind of cool. Oh, not gonna lie, they're actually really cool, but I'm not looking forward to this commander. It's gonna be a rough one. Neat, so they already hit a critical mass of Dark Templar, at least for this stage of the game, which is nice. So obviously we have a Vorazun commander, as well as an Alarak of our own. And see if we can come out on top here. Alright, so there Alarak is set in the back, and Dark Templar actually cleared out almost all of his consumable units. I'm gonna cast it on here anyways, though I suspect, yeah, it's just Tychus is gonna blow him up anyways. So what I'm gonna do here is get this upgrade for Tychus. It's cheap and makes Tychus attacks decrease the armor of their targets by 5 for 1.4 seconds. And because Tychus attacks every 0.21, it's anything he's looking at just doesn't have armor, or has negative armor for the total time that he's being attacked. Immediately going to get this upgrade because it's cheap and gives Rattlesnake a 3 life per second. It increases attack and movement speed for 11 seconds. It's basically a stim pack, but instead of harming him, it heals him, which is nice. Oh dear, it appears that their Karax has gone for the support carrier rush, which probably explains why we're pushing so hard, but also is really very unfortunate because Tychus doesn't have any functional anti-air outside of Tychus himself, which is not good at all. We're just gonna we are gonna blow this away because it is a single target, but that's about it. Let's go ahead and grab, oh, there he is. I'm just blind. Oh well, too late. I'm slow. This is fine. And we're gonna lose this one. I need to do something about those guys, which is what this guy is for. He's good versus armored targets. He's very much like an Immortal, but has more HP and does more damage, which is kind of nice. Probably just gonna have to invest in a second one. Ooh, but another refinery though. I'm going to assume this match is gonna go long and just get the refinery and just deal with it, because I'm not gonna be winning a lot of these waves anyways. At least not before losing some more. And one of the problems I have right now is the thing I need to do in order to take control of my wave is to get another one of these Marauder mercenary units. Unfortunately, Marauders are notoriously not good at taking down carriers, so that's going to be fun. We'll see if we can deal with that a little bit later. But let me solve the immediate problem of not being able to destroy the Alarak wave. Get rid of you. All of your ascendants, what are they called? Well, oh. Oh! It detonated and blew him up, and on his death, it's still... Okay, so in that case, we're going to go ahead and get this guy. And just double that damage for double the destruction of all of those consumable units of his. And then I'm going to get another one of these Marauders on top of it. Just to help out against these Slayers, because, well, doing half their damage, or doing half their health in a single shot's kinda good. Oh, that's so beautiful. Vorazun is actually my favorite commander. And I like that commander a lot. Let's go ahead and get another one of these guys. Just put him right here. Get his secret stash. He does have a couple other upgrades here. It improves the healing rate of his revitalizers, and units within range of revitalizer gain 20% attack speed, which is really good. But also kind of expensive. If I were to get those two, that'd be 400. And it's just a little bit better to get another hero instead of those upgrades for the moment. Huh. Curious. Okay, well, he is immune to that charge, kind of, which is not ideal. Another cool thing about Tychus is that he has, as far as I can tell, infinite amount of these upgrades that you can get. They just get more and more expensive as time goes on. Now, unfortunately, because we have such few units, there's not a whole. They're not very high on the list of things to do. Because getting, you know, +1 attack for 4 units is only going to help so much. Okay, these carriers are becoming a pretty big concern. I'm going to invest in this commander. But Nakara, though. So basically, Lieutenant Nakara is the strongest mercenary here, and I'm going to get Nakara just because of that. And the healing 30 HP per second is just kind of gross. All right. Well, we're dying to these carriers now, so I'm just going to get this, because otherwise this carrier's going to kill everything, and now we're a whole wave behind. Awesome. And then we have an AoE heal, which is really good, so we're not gonna have to worry too much about that. And you guys notice I haven't actually teched up yet, and that's because a lot of Tychus's strengths just lie in just having his units around and the synergies between them. The abilities that we do unlock some abilities for getting into higher tech levels, like this guy, for example. Reduces the charge up time of demolition charge by 2.1 seconds each time Crooked Sam attacks, which is, you know, it's pretty good. Not as good as just having another Crooked Sam, so it's not really worth that investment most of the time, but we'll get around to that eventually, I'm sure. Here. Okay, so you just activate on any of these carriers, please. Thank you. Alright, now we want to get this one for sure, because this unit has its special abilities to, where are you? Bring down 5 enemy air units to the ground, allowing them to attack as if they were ground units, which is kind of important. Also, we can dominate units, which is basically mind control, and that this one is special in that once the mind control ends after a few seconds, then the unit self-destructs, which is pretty good. So that'll be really good versus these support carriers. And hopefully we could deal with some of this, because we're getting well, what's happening to us is what happens to everyone who tries playing Tychus. It's a mess. It's really kind of a very big mess. Ooh, I need to get our detection. So I'm still level 1. Tychus gets access to detection at level 1. I noticed that the Nova commander has some invisible units, which is not a surprise. Okay, let's see. How does this handle it now? Oh, you're still out of range. Okay, so now our Marauders can hit those guys. We can clear out that wave pretty well. And okay, let's put that detonation charge on you, and bye. Just instantly vaporize him. Unfortunately, we're also kind of dead. But one thing you guys notice how long Nakara survived there? That's pretty much Tychus's end game right there. All he has to do, or all we have to do, is just get Lieutenant Nakara to survive into the next player's wave, and we can kind of help that along by getting a second Nakara and just have the medics just beam into each other the whole time. Because once Nakara makes it to a second wave and actually has a wave to heal that's worth healing, then the, well, it's super strong. Okay, and this unit, jeez, there's so much to talk about in Tychus. He's just so many things. This is a unit that's kind of unique. It's, I believe, the Herc unit. Something that existed during the beta. It was a unit concept that didn't actually make it into StarCraft, at least at launch. And I believe that there's some campaign missions and such that have him. Where is this ultimate? Yeah, using your ultimate ability and get wiped. Nope, nope. He survived by absorbing other units. Not a surprise. Okay, so that's going, and what we want. Ooh, do I want this one though? No, no, no. We just have this guy. We want a little bit more tankiness. Want to get another one of these guys. So this is an extremely tanky unit, and he jumps in using a hook, just grappling hooks to a target, ground stuns everything in the area, and then just starts punching them. He actually works really well, mostly because he has 1,000 health. I think it's about time we get a couple of these upgrades, even though it might be a bit late. Let's grab you. Can we get... There we go. There's the healing coming out. We have that guy dominated. He's not close enough to actually target any of these. Why? Oh, well, I guess we're saving it for... Uh-oh. Alright, save it for you. And you are about to take 1,000 HP. Yep, and there go all of his consumable units. There we go. Alright. I want another one of these ground attackers. I also want another one of these guys to bring down some more of those carriers. Because I really need to be able to deal with those carriers, but ooh, things are looking rough here, boys. Now, I'm not getting any of these upgrades for Nakara, because Nakara's upgrades are extremely expensive, you know, 300, 500, and 400, although the upgrades are extremely good. Like, getting fully upgraded Nakara is what we really want here. Just, we need to be able to deal with other things first. Like these carriers. If we're dying to carry, we gotta solve the problem before the problem solves us. Well, the carrier died anyways, which is unfortunate. So, not ideal use of demolition charge, but hey, we were able to bring them all down. Alright, now we could burn through you. You're sitting at... Oh, well, our Tychus is dead, so... Not at negative armor, but... Oh! Oh, no, for a second I thought Nakara lived. No, it's not Nakara, it's the Vega, which is, you know, it's there. Hey, you dominated a Wrathwalker. That'll get a shot off. Probably a shot because of how long it takes to shoot. So next up, we're going to want another Vega to deal with some more of those carriers, and then another Nakara, because double Nakara just healing each other can make it last until the end of time, and then having Nakara survive to heal up these Void Rays, for example, is kind of really good. Uh-oh. Please target the auto turret. Yes, they did. Alright. Well, that's a lot of Zealots. Fortunately, we have a lot of ground units to help out. And also, we're in turret range. Nakara is not able to out-heal these. Someone's lagging. Someone's lagging a lot, putting down the demolition charge, because we're losing this fight pretty strongly. Oh dear. Carriers, why? Okay, we need another Vega out here. You're going over here and unlocking the side projector. How to deal? So one of the problems we're having here is Tychus is getting focused down and he's not living. So one thing that can help with that is just having Nakara's super heal be doubled, which will significantly help with that. So I think it's time to start upgrading our Nakara. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is bad. This is how it ends! GG. And we're off to round 2, and I really want to try to get a win for you guys, though. Most of the time, whenever we see a Tychus player on the team, I just kind of assume that the match is going to end in a loss. It's just because of Tychus's unique traits across all of his units, and that they're all single units with large HP pools and all have an inherent inability to attack upward, so that it makes them vulnerable to very specific strategies that are available to almost every single commander, and that is either air spam or, well, just special abilities that target individual units, like any kind of spell damage, such as, you know, Crooked Sam's ability, or units that focus individual targets and hit them hard. That's just kind of how Tychus is made. So it's quite easy to overwhelm a Tychus player if you have any idea what a Tychus player is. Which makes things not easy for the Tychus player. I need to immediately get this because it's just really good to have that. But, you know, if we can get it to tech level 3 and keep on top of everything, or rather, should I say, if my opponents don't immediately just blow me away because they know how to deal with a Tychus player, then we can do some damage. Like, look at this. Tychus alone just cleared 2 waves. He's a good unit. He just doesn't have the support he needs, which is, you know, it's not ideal. So we'll see what we can do about that. And if you guys wonder about last round, yes, I am aware of the existence of this particular character. This character is supposed to be the guy that targets air units, but he's kind of broken right now in that he doesn't target air units, so it's like literally bugged, kind of broken. And we were up against, what were we up against actually? I was too busy talking and not paying attention. We were up against Dragoons. So I want to get this guy because he's a Marauder and he does damage versus armored. And he's also a support unit. He heals things to help Tychus stay alive because we just got wrecked by a combo of Dahaka Dragoons. Which is something I don't think I'm ever going to say again. See our Zagara's coming in, starting to get Splitterlings, looking like going for a Zagara-based build, or at least to start off with. Usually a good safe option because you're going to want Zagara anyways. Let's go ahead and invest in another refinery. I don't think we're going to be able to contest this much more than we already are. And I'm going to need all the money I can in order to get these units out and proper. Let's see. Ooh. Vorazun going for a ground-based army. It's Stalkers and Centurions. That's something I don't see a whole lot of, but it is quite powerful. The whole Centurions having charge and stun thing is extremely underrated. It does a lot of work. And these Stalkers, they just can't, especially once they get their invisibility blink upgrade, they live forever. It's just kind of how they work. Okay, so nope, Dahaka's coming in again. It's gonna get in the way. That's not ideal. Nope. I think the Dahaka is quite angry at me for reasons that I have no idea. I suppose it's just the internet. So I think now is a good time to get Nikara, just to keep us alive for a little bit longer. The other options are to get more DPS units to try to burn down those Dahaka units, but I don't think that's going to work out well for us. Oh, are we already losing our photon cannon? No. Vorazun coming in to save the day. Good. Good work, Vorazun. You are the MVP here. That is going to mean I need detection, which I didn't get out in time, which is unfortunate. I'm not tier T, so I can't scan. Do we have anyone with... No, we don't have anyone with... Oh, someone does have detection. It's detection. Oh! Oh, it's just an upgrade. It's not a gear. It works. Okay, so that's nice. So now, hopefully Nikara keeps people alive long enough, which appears to be the case. Or maybe it's just these Stalkers tanking a few hits, which is enough. But look how long Tychus is surviving now, and it's going to be enough that we can actually break them all down. Uh-oh. Their Rainer is going for battle cruisers, which means they are a high enough tech level to get the big boy battle cruiser, which I'm okay with, because having 5 armor ripped off of you and then slaughtered out of the sky by a Tychus is actually not going to solve the problem. It's going to be horrible for us because the rest of our wave can't exactly shoot up. I'm going to get another refinery and hopefully they don't go for that, because I'm going to need all the goods I can in order to get all the way up that tech tree. We are pushing quite strongly. See, this is what happens once Nikara survives a wave. It just heals things forever. Like, that Zagara lived far, far longer than that Zagara should have. And now they're in trouble. And Nikara is back doing things like healing up the Stalker. Oh, no, please heal up Tychus. Thank you for healing up Tychus. They have their active ability right now, which is keeping other units and buildings alive for much, much longer than would normally be able to survive. So we don't really have a means of stopping that one from happening. It's a one-time activation. You know, at least once every few minutes. Another one of these guys is probably a really good idea. That, or actually, are you armored? Or not armored. So in that case, I'm going for you immediately. Because those immortals and dragoons will not do bonus damage versus this guy in particular. So he can stay alive for a long, long time. Now this is... Now, there's a legitimate question here, so whether I upgrade Nakara now or later. Because right now my wave doesn't have a whole lot of damage output. Meaning, if it survives long via, you know, Nakara just resurrecting everything forever, that's, you know, all fine and dandy. But if I'm not actually solving the problem of those units being alive, then what good does it do? So I need to have damage output as well as sustainability. And spending 500 on sustainability isn't necessarily going to solve the problem of there being units that are shooting all of my dudes. Because I don't have a whole lot of DPS right now. For as much as Tychus, you know, is currently sitting on 16 kills, it's not, I think, the choice solutions. Right now we have units that are surviving all the way to the second wave, which is usually a good indicator that our wave is tanky enough. We just need more damage. So the solution to more damage... Let's go ahead and get a Nux. Nux is a unit wait, did I get him last round? I don't think I got him last round. Because there wasn't a whole lot of bunched up units, but Nux is basically a psionic... Is basically a High Templar. He doesn't do a whole lot in terms of the damage department. I mean, his damage isn't bad. But he casts once every 21 seconds what it amounts to a psionic storm. And we're going to immediately get the upgrades on this, despite them being expensive, because they are everything this guy does. And when fully upgraded with the maximum size and maximum castability options, this thing will just blanket like between a quarter and a third of the entire wave, and just sit there for a long time. And the damage will just rack up, and usually clears out an entire wave. Or at least most of a wave. Oh, there comes the Dark Templar. Slicing through, that's suddenly a lot of them. Were they there before and I just didn't notice? I tend to get distracted by my own voice. It happens a lot. So we'll get to show him off with just 2 out of his 4 possible Psionic Storm upgrades. And I'm actually gonna manually cast this one because I don't want it to be thrown out in a bunch of those tiny units. Okay, and then you can cast right there. There we go. Make all those units go away. It's almost got them all to go away. They have so very little HP. Actually, they did technically die, but they got saved by the passive ability. So that's nice. Okay, so he's going to help out with some of that wave clear. He's usually good versus smaller units, but honestly, once everything starts stacking together, once we get, you know, more and more units in the field that everything just starts stacking, then it's really, really good. It hits hard even on the larger units. So now we have 2 Nakara, so they can end up healing each other, which is kind of important because then they live forever. And then they can start healing Zagara, who's really good at tanking damage. At least better at taking damage than our units. So we can go. I'm gonna go ahead and invest in some upgrades here. Armor and 1 attack. There we go. Hopefully we can do enough with this. Yes. Oh, now that's a good casting of Psionic Storm. Just knocking out all those units. We could see. Look, they're just gonna sit there and heal each other, while the rest of our units just start to do things. Uh-oh. There's that Rainer coming in with his... Oh dear. That's one way to just one-shot our units. Use the spell ability. Oh, Nux got off a second spell cast. Neat. That almost never happens, but is really good when it does. I'm going to invest in... Should I invest in these? I don't think I should invest in these yet. These are super upgrades, basically. One-time upgrades, just flat damage increases are really good. I don't think they're the solution here. I want to know if Vega can bring down that super carrier. Or that super battlecruiser. I don't actually know. Only one way to find out is do it for science. And activate this guy. Now, is this going to be worth doing? Because this is only once every 30 seconds. There's only one of them, so I don't think that's worth doing for now. It'd be better to get another to work on, invest on getting another hero. We'll get to see sooner or later if the Hyperion can be brought to the ground. Oh dear, we're gonna get wrecked so hard here, guys. Like, these Dark Templar are gonna have to carry so hard. They don't have a whole lot of detection right now. Actually, these Stalkers work really well versus the Hyperion. Just because the Hyperion does a lot of work in dealing damage to individual targets. And the Stalkers, they blink away and then heal once they blink away. Okay, do you bring the Hyperion to the ground? You're not in range? Cannot tug out heroic units. Nope, cannot bring the Hyperion to the ground. That's really rather unfortunate. And we lost one of our Nakaras. But hey, we actually brought down the Hyperion this time. Very good, very good. Tychus putting in some good work. Now, Crooked Sam is going to be another decent solution for the Hyperion. With this demolition charge ability, I'm going to immediately take that off AI. I need that to target only the Hyperion, and not, Zerglings or something similar. And definitely increase its ability damage by 100%. Let's just auto-cast that, so it will be added on the moment it becomes available. Let's see, what else do we need here?
Research complete.
Is it time to start getting upgrades on these guys? I don't know if we have enough ground damage is my concern. I think there's enough Zerg that we can work on getting the Firebat hero. But no. That's probably just the Marauder hero. Because there's a lot of... We're facing off against the Dragoons. Marauder hero is good, so this will just deal a good amount of damage. By good amount, I mean 500. It'll double to 1,000 once we get the upgrade on it. Our medics. Dead. Medics, first to go. They're selfless sacrifice. Okay. Next up, let's get another Marauder to help deal with all of these Dragoons and such. Oh, it's so expensive to get these things. But hey, at least we're dealing with the Tychus wave. Kinda dealing with the Tychus wave. Dahaka just eating things. I can't get enough of that. I like this game, if you guys can't tell. I like this game a lot. I don't like Tychus, but I like this game. I'm gonna bring this back. There's no need to have all of those up front. The Hyperion dead. Hyperion is dead, and so is their Dahaka. Neat. Where's my Crooked Sam? Didn't I Haka you? No, I did not. That's a lot of armored unit, guys. That's a lot of armored units. Okay, so our Nakaras are not healing enough. Nor do we have enough damage output. This is going to be a problem. We want another one of these to tank. We need more damage out of these guys. Like, that's not a question at this point. Getting these upgrades, the Mobius aggression blend, should help out with our damage output significantly. Let's go ahead and actually spread you out a little bit. And then we can get another one of these cannonball guys right in that little space there. Hotkey you for the next time. The Hyperion actually isn't living, which is nice. Seems that we have managed to counter it hard enough. Dahaka is going to die. Don't need to cast this. Okay, well, Crooked Sam not putting in the work I would expect him to, or not putting in the work I wanted him to, only because all the things that he's designed to target are dying before he gets an opportunity to attack them. Which is for the best, but it also means we have 650 resources spent on a unit that's got 2 kills. When we only have, 9 units, a unit with 2 kills is not an acceptable outcome. So I'm going to go ahead and get one more cannonball Bosnell. And then I'm going to get this upgrade here, which increases his HP pool by 25%, boosting him up to a lot. kind of very much so a lot. Right, come on. Is Hyperion still alive? Hyperion is still alive. Ooh, opportunity. Crooked Sam, you may actually be useful. If you live long enough to make it to the Hyperion. Come on, get in range. Do it, do it, do it. Just creep into range. Yes! Got it. So that'll do flat 1,000 damage, which still won't kill the Hyperion, but it makes it go away, which is almost the same thing. Not the same thing at all. I'm gonna get these 2 upgrades because they're cheap and significantly increase his firepower. This one is super good. Allows Cannonball to become immune to damage for 3.6 seconds and restores all his life when he takes fatal damage. It's basically the same as getting a second Cannonball, only somewhat better because he doesn't have to charge all the way across the field. Uh-oh. Is somebody lagging out? Here's someone had a little bit of a lag spike. But it's okay. So next up, let's go ahead and invest into this guy, which will increase the health pool of our tanky units. These 4 in particular, by quite a bit. We don't actually have a whole lot of DPS units, mostly because we're only allowed 1 Tychus. Every other hero or mercenary we can get multiples of. Tychus we can only get 1 of. So, where's my... Here you are. Are you going to die before getting within Hyperion range? I think you are. But it's getting real close. Hey, there it is. Okay, got it. Nice. And he blew it up. And he's got 9 kills. 11 kills. He actually does a fair amount of damage. He hits for 33 every 0.79 seconds. Well, that's actually 66 because it's 2 attacks. The whole dominate thing is actually working out decently well because we get rid of a couple of the battle cruisers. But it's nice. Things are we're not losing, or we haven't lost yet, which is more than I expected. Let's see. I want to get these. I really want to get these upgrades for Nakara just to help keep things alive for longer. And then we can get the upgrades to heal 2 units at a time. And then do we want to do this? It's a burst heal. The burst AoE heal, which is really good when mixed in with waves. Here's my... Oh, he's dead. Oh, he's not dead. He's right here. He'll learn to hotkey him faster. Because when the Nakara gets mixed in with other units, then she becomes super strong. Between the AoE heal and the single target heal, it's just really good. Let's see, we have... Nakara running into her death to try to heal the Corruptor. Not a surprise. Welcome to healing. Let's see, can we get the rest of these? We have 1 Nakara that's almost fully upgraded, and a second one will soon be fully upgraded. Come on. That's another 900 minerals just to get those upgrades, but that will significantly help our survivability. Just because healing 60 life per second is kind of... No one is prepared to deal with a unit that heals 60 life per second, especially when 4 units are healing 60 life per second. Like, whoa. Let's go ahead and... Do you want to save it for Dahaka? Use it on Dahaka? Or save it... Nope, just putting it right onto the Hyperion. Right onto the Hyperion. That's not doing as much damage as I hoped it would. Yeah, we're gonna need probably multiples of this guy in order to do anything worthwhile. I don't think... Oh, no, we're just gonna lose here. Oh, well. GG. Alright guys, that is going to be it for this video and our spotlight on Tychus. Next time we're going to be going back and redoing some of the commanders that we had already done before, but I didn't do well enough and I really wanted to do them again. So for now, I'll see you guys later.